Hi everyone, this is Franchise Keenan and we are here for Avatar The Legend of Korra. In this case, this is a special video that I decided to make because after the end of Last Airbender and the beginning of Korra, and in a way also we have the graphic novels, so much thing changed. And we have met so many new characters and all the universe that we, or at least that I knew it, is kinda there, but it's kinda not. So yeah, I have make some notes here in my phone. So I gotta try read here and transform this in a video. So we have here how Korra is strong. Yeah, Korra is strong, and what I mean by that is physically strong, which is something that if we compare her with Aang, for example, Aang was not strong, um, which it could be one of the reasons that like the whole idea of airbending. I say that sometimes during my reactions to the last Airbender, how airbenders had to be, or not necessarily had to be, but will be really easier if you don't have much muscles, if you're not that tall, because it would make easier to you to bend air with that. In the opposite direction, earthbender, for example, would be really better for you if you're like tall, if you're really strong. Not necessarily means that you have to be for be a good bender. One good example of that is Toph. Toph is Earthbender, and she's the best Earthbender of all times. Or, yep. Um, Even if her physical part is almost the opposite of what we should expect, and that not necessarily means that, well, just because Toph is really good with that, you should be like her. No, it's the opposite. If Toph was really tall and really strong physically, she would be even a better Earthbender. In the case of avatars, this is kind of weird because since the elements are so different and how you should be as a bender, the avatar not necessarily need to be one or another because he has all the four. But it really is the opposite of Aang in a way that she's really had so much taller than he is. She's really strong physically. We see a lot of in this past 5 episodes on where, for example, where she grabs Tenzin and the kids at the same time and lift them. You see how strong physically she is, and I think in a way this may help her. Um, well, not necessarily. I would say that this would help her to learn Earthbender and Firebender because they are way more strong necessity as your body needs to be. But she kind of already knew that. Of course, she developed way more with time, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Forget what I said. Um, Genoda is the best. Yeah, Genoda, I think is how it's called. Is one of Tenzin's kids, and I just love her. That's what I can say for you. Um, if you're watching my reactions, you know how I am about characters in itself. And Jinora just like I don't know. I like these characters that are more calm, that are more rational, and Janota looks like that. I mean, she's a kid, and of course she has kid mayonnaise and all, but it's really funny because they managed to do a character that is like really like knowledgeable and is still a kid, which is really rare to see in fiction. Surprisingly, it's really rare to see in fiction. So, yeah, I really like her just because of that. But yeah, she has a couple lines already in just 5 episodes that make her my favorite character. That's just what I need to say about that. Um, Now, how the nations live. Yeah, we still don't know much about how all of the nations are because we basically just live in the Spy 5 episodes in the Republic City, with the exception in the first episode were in the South Water Tribe. Um, I can imagine after what we saw in the season 1 finale of The Last Airbender, um, some waterbender tribes of the north going back to south and help to rebuild the south. So in a way, probably has now a lot of waterbenders there, and that explains a lot of how we see how different it is. Even if it was just a little, we see how different it is, the tribe. But I really wonder how the other tribes are doing now. The North, the Earth Kingdom, um, especially the Fire Nation. I don't know. I think Zuko not gonna be alive, but it would be cool to see. I don't know Zuko's descendant. I think it's gonna be fun. Also, what happened with the air temples? One of them is still be using the family of Theo, right? Maybe, and the others. How it is? It was become a preservation of culture by the United City Republican Nations. Um, it's gonna be this is gonna be a possibility. Another possibility is now that people are living there as well. I don't know. Um, I also feel that this show gonna go way more in political stuff, and we see that in episode 4, I believe, with the council. Um, so I really wonder um, how all the nations are going. Another point is Republic City is Udall, maybe. Um, I point this as exclamation point because I don't know. I was watching again the graphic novel, and the map shows where the colonies of the Fire Nations are, and the map that shows where Republic City is in the beginning of Korra, it really looks like it is Ryudao. Um, it makes sense. Again, I just finished the first part of the promise, so I don't know if they're gonna explain something like that in the comics. So please don't tell me any spoilers besides that. I'm just wondering about um, uh, it would make sense if because Aang is still in the graphic novels really deciding um, if that really is a good idea. And as we saw in the beginning of Korra, Aang basically designed Republic City to be this, which is kind of opposite what we are seeing in the graphic novels. So the natural path from this is that Udao became Republic City. Um, Maybe not necessarily Udao. Maybe the city got expanded, or maybe it was like all the colonies. got together and have formed what it is, Republic City. I don't know, but it really seems that this is what's gonna happen. So I'm really curious to see how and when Aang make that change. Pro bending, yeah, I love the idea of pro bending. I love the idea of a sport be born as for benders because that's something that sure would happen in a universe like that where you have because before we have the war, so of course that would not happen, but even before the war the nations are really scattered and we do not have much contact between the people outside people that really travel along a lot of times. So it would make a lot of sense now that everyone has a place to live together that things like that would happen. And I love the idea. I'm still like surprised for how much depth they put on this sport because it looks like each episode we get new rules or better like we know new rules, right? So it's really cool. um I really like the idea behind everything behind. um I don't know how long this gonna takes if we're gonna see prob ending until the end of the series, if it just be something about the first season. I don't know, but I'm loving so far. Um, Chi blockers, yeah. Um, I even say in one of the episodes I record today, what is chi blocking? Because this was one of the things I was talking about during the last Airbender, and so everything that is mystical in this series is bending, right? In a way, less chi blocking. So that's really strange. You could say that, well, it's just martial arts, but I don't know. It really feels like it has something more deep to that. Um, I don't know, like because they not never got so deep into this during the show, during the last Airbending. So like it feels like it was something that only um Ty Lee could do, and that explains all the fear that everyone got up there. Especially Katara have a really good monologue of that. Um, but we never really see anything besides that. And now in Korra, we have a bunch of people that can do that. So I really wish that we're gonna receive some kind of explanation. I hope yes. Um, and with Amon, now I talk later about Amon. So yeah, Bowling did not lose his bending. Bowling was almost lose his bending during his encounter with Amon, and that's I'm really glad that he did not lose his bending. And the reason for that is he's basically Sokka. Okay, he's basically Sokka, and if he loses his bending, he will be even more close to Sokka than he already is. So I'm glad that that did not happen. I know that they are two totally different characters. Okay, but he is the comic backstage that we have in this show. Um, I really would not like that he loses bending because yeah, it would not be cool. Besides the fact that I like bowling, but that's another story entirely. Um, yeah, Korra losing bending. What would happen with the Avatar? That's a good question. I make that this question in episode 4 especially, um, because of the fears that she had about Amon. Um, I have a lot of questions about that. If she loses her bending ability, maybe the avatar gonna cease to exist, maybe because we have this idea of the avatar had ceased to exist if you die in the avatar state during the past season, but Aang kinda died in the avatar state, and the avatar would not do not cease to exist at all. And we can go to a plot hole or just not a plot hole. How it's called? When the autos trick you with things like the main character gonna die when we know that the main character not gonna die. Like it may be something like that. So I don't know. Technically, it would not make sense if Korra lose her bending. The next avatar will not gonna be born or something because it's not something spiritual. At least it looks more martial arts, really. I think it's not just martial arts. I think it has some kind of bending or spiritual power there. But yeah. Um, one more. Yeah, let's talk about a moment. Let's just suppose that he's telling all the truth of his backstory and all. His power being the same power that Aang used can mean so many things. Maybe again, this may take a look back to where or when the first Avatar got this power, which I have like I don't know 12 different uh, theories about how that happened. I think I said at least 10 of them for you because I think each episode I have a new theory about that. So I'm not gonna think too much of that. But I'm really curious if that's really is the same power or if it's not. Another question about Amon is who is it? Because why he use a mask? He kind of said that was because he had his face all destroyed or something. I don't know if I can buy that, but again, I don't buy anything that a villain say to me. I don't buy what a hero says to me. What I would buy what a villain say, right? I don't know who can be him. So the thing is, the question is gonna be someone that we still did not meet, or is gonna be someone that we already met? What I mean by that is when we open his mask, we're gonna know who it is, or it's gonna be something totally new. I don't think the show's gonna do that because it's gonna be pretty stupid if it did, in my opinion. I don't like when shows do that. Someone is hiding by the mask and you open the mask and who is this guy? Like so it has to be someone that we already met or at least we will met before we open his mask. So we don't have much people. That's a question. Who could it be? Of all the people that we already see, like, of course, it cannot be Korra, it cannot be Mako, Bowling, because we see them in the episode together when Amon first appear and try to um, um, close off the bending of Bowling. So it's not one of the main characters, but it can be anyone outside that, almost anyone. Like it cannot be Katara, for example. Come on. Um, not only would not make story sense, she's not that high. Um, she's not that tall for being a mom. It could be Tenzin, and that it would be so crazy. I, it gonna be is gonna be really far fetched if it is Tenzin. I don't really think why it would be Tenzin, but I'm just thinking it has to be someone that is tall enough, and Tenzin is tall enough to be him. Um, the other guy of the council that was gonna make all the fuss about, he also could be. Um, but I really think it's a waste of time for me to think who could be because I'm not gonna notice anything in the few episodes. Maybe when we finally gonna be really close to discovering who it is, we have some hints here and there that I can catch, and yeah. Now the big question is, if he's really lying about this, what is this power? Because it feels like, if you ask me, this is not the same power that Aang used. Because when Aang used against Ozai, we have like crazy light stuff, blue and orange, and now when we never see anything like that with Amon. So if it's not that power, what it is? We have a second power that can retire bending. That's crazy. I mean, maybe a third one because technically she blocking is basically this, but she blocking is just temporarily. So you could say that I'm on ability if he's lying. It could be an evolve chi blocking ability that could make um someone lose his bending not temporarily but forever. Could be. Now, if it is just one of the four elements, I don't see which element could it be besides fire. Because earth would not make any sense. Like, I don't see how it would make sense. Um, water, also, I don't see how that would make sense. Um, air, I also don't think it would be. Now, fire is life, fire is energy. So it would make sense if it somehow connected um, with this ability. Um, yeah, I really love episode 4. It shows a lot how Korra is kind of traumatized by the idea of losing her bending ability. I don't know how the show gonna go beyond that, you know. Um, well, I think I already talked enough. 20 minutes. Let me see if I have something more. I think it's that. Um, yeah. Let's finish the video for now. If I notice that I'm gonna have some video that I have a lot of things to say about, I will do. So yeah, that's that. And I see you guys in the next episode.